That song, I love it when we sing it because more than anything else, it sums up every single thing I would ever teach you in this community. God, I give you my heart and my soul. I live for you alone. There could be nothing else. Today is the day that we're continuing on in a series about living a life that is as abundant and expansive as it can possibly be. And we're not just talking about money, we're talking about a full and incredible life. Last week we talked about Ohm's law, the law of circulation, and how sometimes we kind of block that flow of every good thing coming through our life because we don't believe there's enough, or we don't believe we deserve it, or we don't believe that it's the right time. We got a million reasons why we're resistant to that flow coming through us. So we talked about that. Today, we're going to talk about this thing, there is enough, which is sometimes called in spiritual circles the law of abundance. Because it is a spiritual law. It's an absolute truth. Now, whether you believe it or not today, it's okay. I'm going to invite you to try it on, but it's still going to work. You know, if I trip and fall, I'm going to fall because gravity works whether I believe gravity works or not. This spiritual law is in action whether we really believe it or not. My purpose today is to explain how it works and invite you to try doing things that can actually make it work better in your life. This law is kind of based on something that Jesus said early in his ministry in the Gospel of Luke. He says, don't be afraid of missing out. You're my dearest friends. The Father wants to give you the very kingdom itself. It's about saying that we're not here in this world and God's out to punishment. No, we are deeply, powerfully, profoundly, infinitely, unconditionally loved by a God that says, I want to give you a great and amazing life. And the part that we have sometimes difficulty understanding is the very truth of that. Charles Fillmore is the co-founder of Unity, and he said, there is a kingdom of abundance of all things, and it may be found by those who seek it and are willing to comply with its laws. So I could do a really quick survey. Who here does not want to live a life of really incredible abundance? Raise your hand. Good. We have a counseling center just right for you. No, I said, who does not want to live? I know. That happens to me all the time, too. We're dyslexic. Yeah, I know, yeah. Okay, let's do it again. Who does not want a life of incredible abundance? I didn't think so, but if you did raise your hand, we do have a counseling center with professional therapists that can truly kind of help turn that around for you. Of course we want that. Of course we want it. And you're in the absolute right seat today. It is a divine appointment for you if that's what you are saying, because it says who are seeking that. Now, the other half to that is, and who are willing to comply with the spiritual law. So we're going to talk about that too. This is a famous Unity writer. Well, he's not so famous, but he was a wonderful writer named James Lewis back in the 50s and 60s. He said, there is no need for some to have abundance and for others to have nothing. There is more than enough of God's good for everyone, for this is an opulent universe. I like this guy. I just found him this week. You know, I've been in Unity for a long time. And this is an amazing truth. We are part of an opulent universe. Now, there is difficulty in that, and there's resistance to that. And here's something from Sky St. John, who you may recognize. I thought, if I put it in print, you might believe it. The biggest block to an abundant life for ourselves is our own thinking. Oh, that's so irritating. I would love to blame Republicans for it, or maybe Democrats, whoever you are. I would love to blame the economy or Iran or Greece. Nothing to I could offend everyone, but I'd love to blame the world for all of these problems we're having. What this says is that the biggest block to an abundant life is our own thinking. You see, there's a really powerful and important spiritual truth, and that is this, and this is what we really need to get. I invite you to look at your life, and I want you to look and see, okay, it's absolutely full and expressive and abundant in every area, or if it's not, something maybe I don't have enough time, I don't have enough friends, I don't have enough purpose, I don't have enough money, I don't have a car, whatever, there's the lack. I want you to understand the spiritual rule. What exists on the outside of our life is a result of the inner consciousness we are holding. Oh, well, that's irritating. Well, Jesus said, you will know the truth, it will irritate you, and then it will set you free. So we're now in the irritating part. But you're moving through it. I know it will, because as soon as we embrace that truth and we begin to understand that if we want to create a life that looks different out there than what we're experiencing, it has to begin here. We love to try to change everything else, but it is absolutely ridiculous to do it that way. You know, it's like that dumb blonde joke where the blonde's got her computer screen and she's got whiteout all over it because she's trying to correct her mistakes. It doesn't happen on the screen, and our life is the screen. It happens in the CPU, the central processing unit, which is right here for all of us. Okay. Now, this mind shifting can happen because you're in charge of your thinking, believe it or not. And we have a wonderful course that's been taught here for the last 9 weeks by Dr. Nikki and Margie. It's called Prosperity Plus, but it's about abundance in all of your life by Mary Mann Morrissey. And there's about 50 people in church that have been going through that, and they have been experiencing fantastic revelations and tremendous change in this thinking realm. So I wanted to get one of them share something with you about it. His name is Paul, and here is a truth from him.
I had a very difficulty with prosperity because I always had those limits around it and never realizing there could be more. And then over time, because of my work, because of the people I've connected with through the church, I found that there is actually more, and then there's more. And you actually start to go beyond your limitations. You actually forget a comfort zone that keeps going out, and going out.
Now, that's incredible. It's all he's understanding how it can go out. You see, that's my job here, is to encourage you to do that. I'm not so much here to comfort the afflicted as to afflict the comfortable, and to try to get you to move beyond whatever that thing is. You know, I want us to become really, really comfortable with that ambiguity that is in life, with those areas where we have to step beyond ourselves and we're not used to it. That's really important. Here's another thing from Charles Fillmore, again, the co-founder of Unity. Above all, we should fill our mind with the consciousness that divine abundance, which is so manifest everywhere in the world today. There is as much substance as there ever was, but its free flow has been interfered with through selfishness. And I'm going to explain that in just a minute. Here's another quote from Sky St. John. He just talks all the time. He says, any experience of abundance we are having in our outer lives is a direct result of a consciousness of the kingdom of abundance in our inner lives. Okay? Are you getting that? And that's really important because we love to just put it out on, we are so focused on the stuff that we're not realizing that the stuff is generated from in here, and it's generated from that relationship that we are having with the kingdom that is promised to be in here. This is where the abundance begins. And well, I thought maybe it'd be simpler if we kind of showed you, we put together a little scene here that we'd like to demonstrate how that might look in our life. Hey, you guys, I'm playing God, by the way. Hey, you guys.
Hey.
I got you both a present.
No way. Why?
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, well, I love you both so much, and I just thought it'd be kind of cool if I got you something I thought you really wanted. Yeah.
Ooh, how nice.
Yeah, okay, Carol, you go first.
Wow, this is so exciting. Oh, will you look at this? A little 8-ounce can of Coca-Cola. I always thought these things were so cute. This is perfect.
Well, I had to look all over town to find those little tiny ones because I knew that you thought they were cute, and it seemed to be a perfect fit for you.
I love it.
Yeah, Danny, you're next.
All right. No way, God, seriously? 20 ounces of Coke! Yeah, baby! Thank you so much, God. Hey, Carol, let's show our gifts to Margie. Come on.
Okay.
Hey, Carol, is there a problem?
No. Well, kind of. It's like, you know, whenever you give people gifts, you give everyone else more than you give me.
What do you mean?
I mean, I open my gift and, oh, cute, 8 ounces, and Danny opens his and, hello, 20 ounces.
I know what you mean. But see, that gift was for Danny.
But that's what I want. Go get it for me.
Okay.
I
if that's
got
what
a
you want.
liter. I got a liter. 1 liter of God's sweet goodness, and God gave it to me.
God did?
Yes.
Oh. Well, you know what? You're going to meet somebody with a bigger bottle, and then you're going to be so mad.
Oh, boy, check it out. I got an upgrade. Coke 3.0.
That is awesome.
I know.
Oh, isn't this just great?
Hey, God, you rock.
What is wrong with you? Why are you holding back the best from me?
I gave you my best. Carol, don't you see what's happening? You're letting everybody else's gift steal your joy.
Oh, no, God. You are stealing my joy by giving everybody else more than you give me.
Carol, I picked this out for you. That's what I wanted you to see.
I don't care.
As long as this is all you are looking at, then all you will ever see is Coke. Sometimes that's all we see is the Coke, all the stuff of life. We don't see the place it came from. We don't see that God picked out this thing for us. We don't live in the gratitude of whatever it is that is ours and was given to us. All we see is the Coke. I don't know if you could resonate that, but I could. It would have worked better if it was Diet Coke, but still, you get the idea. I want to talk, see, Jesus said, seek first the kingdom first. Here, don't seek first the Coke. I want to talk about how to activate that law of abundance in your life. You say, okay, so how does it work? Well, okay, we have a formula. This formula was given to us by, guess who? Charles Fillmore. He says, many people try and demonstrate God as their supply by repeating affirmations of abundance now present, but fail to deny and thus let go of the old condition and the old belief in lack by beginning to give as generously as possible. It's not the amount you give measured by standards of the world. It is the goodwill you send forth with the gift, which can be measured only by spiritual standards. Okay, so here's what he's saying. Yeah, some people try to change their thinking by doing affirmations. That happens a lot in Unity because we think it's the easier, softer way. Oh, God is abundant, God is going to give me everything, but I'm not going to do anything about it. I'm just going to say this little thing stuck on my mirror every day. And then we don't understand why it doesn't work. That's only part of the formula. If you want to change our thinking, we have to first of all affirm, yes, it is an abundant world. God loves me and it's available, number one. Number two, he says we have to deny the old condition. Denial is kind of it's not like I'm closing my eyes, it's not there. No, denial basically says, here's this condition. There's not enough love, not enough time, not enough money, not enough whatever. That's on there. But what the denial says is all of that has no power over me. Because the real me is in here. All of that's out there. That has no power over me. That's a denial. Then the other thing he says, which is really important, is if we're truly changing our thinking and we're truly denying the lack of power and we're truly affirming it, the way we know that it's really happening in us is whether or not we are giving. Now, it's not about the amount of giving. He says it's not the amount. It's that intention, that will to give. Because if we still think there's lack, we're going to hold on. We're not going to give. So the sign that says, I am really working on this lack, I'm really breaking out of this, is showing up by me being a giving person. Do you understand how that works? Okay. So goodwill, according to what Charles Fillmore says, is that intention. And that goodwill is the reason the gift is not important. It's Jesus talked about it when the woman who gave just like a penny in a donation. And he told his disciples, she gave more than everybody. She gave more than everybody because it was her intention. It came from her heart. It came with her soul's blessing. So again, it's not about the amount. It's about coming from a generous spirit that says, I'm not going to hang on because I know that God is my source and it's infinite. Do you understand? You see how that works? That's why we did circulation last week, because you have to know that. So there they are. There's your 3 steps. Deny, this has no power over me. Affirm the truth. I am connected to this amazing infinite source, and then give to prove that I am denying and that I am believing in God to myself. It's not proving to the world. I'm proving it because I am putting action to that belief. These are really critical things. Now, here's a sample of a denial. I want you to think about something in your life right now. Think about some situation where you think there's just not, you'd want a little more of that. There's something that's lacking and you want more of that. Maybe you're looking for that right relationship, or maybe you're looking for that right job, or maybe you're looking for that bigger paycheck, or the perfect pet, or the house that you want to live. There's some place of lack, and you're feeling that inside. Now, I want you to feel that. It's there. But what I want you to say is this: this has no power over me. Okay? This does not limit me. I'm not saying it isn't there. I'm saying it has no power over me. Okay? Can you join me? Let's say these out loud. This has no power over me. This does not limit me. Okay? Now, those are things you can say. You can keep saying those about all those things. They're called denials in unity. It means, I call them rebukals. You know, the word rebuke. I don't care. I know there's that feeling. It has no power over me. Now, here's an example of an affirmation. God loves me, and God's kingdom within provides me with all I need. Okay, now you're about the kingdom. It's about within. All right? Let's try this. Say it together. God loves me, and God's kingdom within provides me with all I need. Okay, it was kind of mumbly, blah, 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 blah. So it'd be really cool if you put some, intention to it. So everything works better that way. You know, if you were to say to somebody, oh, gee, I really love you. Okay, I really love you too. Yeah, I love you. What is that? You know, you really got to put some heart into it. So let's try. Can you do it for me again? Make me happy. Together. God loves me. Yay! Yeah! Didn't that feel better? I mean, crying out loud. Okay, good. So, here's the point about the giving part. The denials you can do, the affirmations you can do. What we wanted to do as a spiritual community, besides teaching you those things, is also provide you with a way of giving with intention. Because the whole point of all this is I want you to have the most amazing life. I want you to have a 2013 that is just over the moon for you in terms of having the biggest, most glorious life you can. So, giving with intention. One of the things we did is, I think last week or so, I sent most people in the mail this little thing called intentional giving. Now, here's what I want you to know about this. This is not about raising money for the church. This was planned as part of this series to give you an opportunity to say, okay, I'm going to plan on being a generous person. Now, there's a form you fill out. We're going to ask you to fill that out. But it doesn't necessarily, it's not binding. We're not going to write you letters or anything. It is a statement of intention. It's a way for you to participate in this. Now, you may say, oh, well, church is just only trying to get money. You don't send this in with any money. This is an intention between you and God, an intention. If we were just after money, we wouldn't put the links to the Salvation Army and the Red Cross in our bulletin and say, call them up and give. It's about you becoming generous in your life so that more will flow into it. This is one way we're going to provide to do it. Now, next Sunday is the end of this series, and we're talking about the power of your intention. And we're going to have a little ceremony because most of the staff have turned these in already. Most all the boards turned these in already. And we're going to invite you to do it next Sunday as kind of a day of intention. So we're going to have a little ceremony. You can either bring it down in front or whatever. And because, remember that law of circulation? If the church receives that from you, we have to give you something back. That's the rule. So we have these little pins made. You can just barely see it. It's our logo. And a little closing A pin. So anybody comes down and does that, you're going to get this. Just as a way of saying thank you for that. Just as a way of saying, good, you've made the intention. We want to bless you in that. Let's review the denial and affirmations again, because I really want those to be cemented in your life. This has no power over me. This does not limit me. Let's say it together. This has no power over me. This does not limit me. Beautiful. And here's the last one. God loves me, and God's kingdom within provides me with all I need. Together, God loves me, and God's kingdom within provides me with all I need. That was amazing. That was amazing. I know that the promise is you practice these things. You do the affirmations. You do the denials. You begin to live a generous life. And I'm telling you, the law says you will have changed the kingdom within, and the kingdom without will change too. Will you close your eyes with me for just a moment, please? We know in this community that all real change happens inside. So we want to take a moment for you to connect with that divine presence and power that is in you right now. And say, God, I am willing to be different. I'm willing to live my life differently so it can be better. You see, we cannot let the good life get in the way of the better life. And I believe that God is promising the best life. So in these quiet moments, open your heart to that teaching. Listen as the Spirit of God speaks to you in the sacred and holy silence.